What do we have here? All right. We have Jefferson's Ocean. So here's the thing. Jefferson Ocean, I've seen this around for quite some time, but I haven't seen many store picks of it, which this is what kind of attracted me to it when I was at the store, and I said, ooh, a Jefferson's Ocean aged at sea store pick. I never owned any Jefferson's Ocean. I had it at a bar one time prior to this. I don't know about you guys.
Never had it.
I think I have. Yeah,
John, I think, texted me one time and said he's like, what do you think? It was a little overpriced for at a bar, I would say, that I thought, because, I mean, a bottle like this one here, it's a little higher end as far as not over 100, but maybe closer to like 80-ish, maybe around there. So I picked this up from Bottle Republic in Denville. But yes, this one is a cask strength single barrel. John had asked me before, and I was like, what is he talking about? And then I dove in a little bit deeper here, and he's like, Ken, what voyage was it?
That's good that you knew that.
Yeah. Voyage 33, and barrel 494, bottle 110, coming in at 114.4 proof, 57.2% alcohol.
Beautiful.
I did crack it a couple days ago. I wanted to breathe a little, and here we are.
Why don't you tell everybody how this is kept and barreled? And
Absolutely.
Yeah, I find it very interesting, and I never tried this. So,
Yeah.
I'm interested. Like, do you think that makes the alcohol level go up more?
Well, I think it has to do with the shaking and jostling of the barrel, and I think that's what we had it on the show the one time with Dustin when he was on here. We had the one where it was the semi truck that went cross country.
Yeah,
Similar concept,
It's
different.
interesting.
I don't think it was Jefferson's though. But it was an interesting concept, and I think it has to do with the shaking and moving. And with a boat, it's more of the rocking back and forth and back and forth. But let's see what it says here. Ocean Voyage 33 began its journey in the summer's scorching heat. So that has a lot to do with it, too, the temperature outside as well. Weaving its way throughout the Caribbean and Central America. Early in the voyage, the containers were greeted by the warm embrace of Costa Rica's tropical paradise. Oh, I love this story here.
There we go.
I want to be on vacation. With daytime temperatures consistently in the 80s and 90s, the evenings graciously provided some sweet relief, gently descending into the low 70s. Ooh, low 70s. The relief, was brief. I'm getting into like the colored section.
Yeah,
I can't read it now. As more than a dozen days soared beyond 100 degrees, with the hottest peak reaching a sweltering 117.8 degrees in the mid-afternoon. As the barrels ventured into the open sea once again, it came as no surprise that they would undergo intense rocking back and forth, as we were just saying, from nearby storm activity. This relentless motion further compelled the bourbon to continuously interact with the wood of the barrels, driving a deeper infusion of flavor into the liquid. In the embrace of the intense heart of Puerto Rico, Ocean Voyage 33 found solace from the vigorous waves. The end of the summer was nearing, yet the tropical paradise held on to the warmth, with the average temperature lingering at almost 98 degrees. As the barrels journeyed around the island, dancing from port to port, they encountered exceptional conditions on this voyage, with the containers reaching their peak temperature of 122. That gets hot, dude.
That's hot.
That gets hot. That's really hot. As early as mid-morning. Throughout their journey home, the barrels of Ocean Voyage 33 continued to face formidable weather conditions, yet such adversity proved to be ideal for this particular voyage. Bottled at cask strength, Ocean Voyage 33 allows the profound impacts on the liquid to be celebrated exactly as nature intended, embracing its intensity of its journey. So it's interesting.
It just aged a little bit more while you were reading that.
do you think they actually do all this, or they throw it in the pool in their backyard?
You could pick up this novel at Barnes & Noble, by the way.
Hooked on Phonics worked for you. Anyway,
Let's put that back
if
on
you didn't
here.
get out of that,
Sorry.
freaking liquid's thrown in a barrel in the back of a ship.
I think we just...
Big temperature change. It's interesting.
Yeah, so the hot temperature, the temperature change.
I'm sure like the sea.
The barrels in the back of a boat on a cargo ship or whatever it is, back and forth.
I'm
is
sure like the salts too,
creating
right?
something special.
Sure.
Everything's probably
salty air.
There's a lot of variance there.
Yes.
Variables, a lot of variables.
Yes. And who knows? I mean, if I was one of the pirates on that ship, I'd be kind of dipping into that a lot once in a while.
Maybe they do.
Well, we got any bourbon on this ship? That's what we're doing, buddy.
Yeah. Pick the right ship.
Let's drill a hole. Let's get a glass. Shimmy me timbers.
I wonder if they've been doing this for a long time, and that's probably how they used to do it back in the day. I don't know.
I don't
no
know.
idea.
I mean, Jefferson's been around for quite some time. I've had other Jefferson's bourbons, which is named after, well, one of our presidents, I think. Because it has, I think
I
I've
thought
seen
it was George.
Moving on.
up.
Can we drink some of this or what?
Pick a glass, fellas.
Let's go. I'm going 4 roses.
I'm going Heaven Hill
All
today.
mixtures.
All right. Sorry, we don't have a Jefferson's Ocean.
I know. We gotta get a glass for each bottle you have there.
Yeah, I know. But that was a cool story, nonetheless. Even though it was long.
Absolutely.
Just to
Thank you, sir.
welcome. Yeah.
Listen, it's very interesting. Even the one we did on the back of a truck. This one's on the back of a boat. Just a way to do things. Like, I don't know who thinks of this stuff.
What would you rather?
Because
back
what
of
are
a
you doing,
truck?
right? I mean, it's bourbon, so it has to be distilled in America here. So you really
Yeah.
are throwing it on the back of a ship, and you're like, all right, go make this work now, you know? And,
Yeah.
And it's just crazy because it doesn't have to.
What would you rather, a truck or a boat?
I don't know. I didn't taste it yet.
Well, the other interesting. Jay had brought up too before about the salt and everything in the air. That's the big thing with Scotch. When you think about Scotch, it has that salty air, it has that sea air, it has things going on there. And there's so many elements that can affect a product.
Yeah.
And I don't know. So, in all honesty, do we think it's just a
gimmick?
gimmick?
Probably, because I don't see how the salt air could possibly penetrate. I mean, it's in a barrel, and then it's in a cargo container. What is the salt air?
Well, I think salt
temperature
air.
I can see the
more.
temperature.
But the salty air, I could see it maybe. Think about
You
it.
think it could penetrate
Well,
all that?
bourbon penetrates somewhat, but does it get to the bourbon? That's the real question.
That's what I'm
Yes.
questioning.
So you can get salty air on the outside, but is it getting on in the inside?
Right.
Because when you look at those bourbon staves, if you ever seen a barrel that we've seen it when we were in Kentucky.
Especially when they get older, you could see through 'em.
Yes, you could see the lines and basically where it kind of reached
Sure.
to that point, So
Hey, whether a gimmick or not, let's
get
check
the
out and
nose.
see what the juice is on this.
all right.
It smells a little hot, little heat on there.
What else?
Smells like a box of raisins when you open it up.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
see that.
I can see. I was thinking that dark
Right.
fruit, dried fruit, but there's something else. I'm getting a
Vanilla-
little bit
vanilla?
of a grape juice, which might tie into that dark dried fruit.
Yeah.
Definitely a little vanilla on what I think. I don't know.
A little vanilla, yeah, a little oaky.
No salt.
You know,
No salt.
the first sniff I took, I was going to say a little honey, but the second and third sniff, I don't know. I think I'm taking that back.
I'm getting very candy grape juice kind of, or candy grape kind of forward.
I think it smells good though.
Yeah, not very spice heavy.
It doesn't smell like it's going to burn. It doesn't
No.
smell boozy. But
No,
it's
at
114.
first I thought it
yeah?
did, but
Yeah. Cheers, fellas.
Check it out. Cheers.
All right.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, that's
like
got
it.
flavor.
That's got a lot of flavor.
That's got yeah.
It doesn't taste like 114%. That's for sure.
Yeah.
that's good. I
And
like it.
it lingers. It's got nice legs.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
So do
Not
I.
crazy viscous. Color is not super dark, so it's not. You can tell it wasn't aged that long, but it's
Yeah, we don't know how long these have been.
yeah, I don't know. But as far as flavor goes,
That's good.
I may be a believer. I don't know. It's doing its work inside that barrel. It's doing its thing. So who knows? It's got great flavor to
Is
it.
this price mid-range, higher mid?
Yeah, it was about 80 something. I think something around there. Yeah,
I think it's good. John,
Maybe it was
I think it's delicious.
Might have been 79 or
what's the
something.
burn rate? Do you
No.
guys do that anymore?
No, I mean this is smooth. I like this.
You're a professional now.
Do you not watch our podcast or what?
I do.
I do get a little honeycomb, like a little something sweet in there.
I think it's really good.
I like it a lot. Yeah.
It's sweet. Yeah.
Now-
And I do get a little heat. I get a little heat on that finish. High heat.
Now you tried this when you got it,
Not
right?
as much the Kentucky Hug yet necessarily. What's that?
You tried this when you bought it.
Yes, I tried it. Yes.
Any difference now that it's been open?
I I don't know because I think I was a few drinks in at that point.
They all taste the same at that point.
So you're reliving this for the first time.
That's why you
once
always
again.
start out. You always start out with your good bourbon.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to remember after 4. It's like you're hanging. We've hung out in Jay's yard before, and we've done things, and like sometimes it's actually the opposite. You kind of brave up that courage to say, let's get something.
Let's open this.
Let's
one.
open up this
you're
Van
like,
Winkle, and
It's not what I thought it was going to taste like.
Yeah,
meanwhile we're like, yeah, do it.
that is true. No, but I'd put this up with anything. You know, like
And it goes to Jay. It goes to what we've said so many times before. You could have a bourbon like this, and you can have a bourbon like a Van Winkle. Is a Van Winkle? Say you pay just to say $80 on this bottle, and the Van Winkle you paid, secondary. What's for like even a 10 years? What 6 to 7 around roughly?
Yeah.
And 700 is that bourbon 10 times better than this.
No, you're paying for the name.
Exactly.
You're paying for what it is.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't think it's as good, but I think you can almost put it up to like the Michter's 10. It's good, the flavor. It's a high enough proof, and it tastes delicious.
It's very good.
Yeah, it's good. It's got good flavor. Very good flavor.
Yeah, sweet.
Nice stuff.
Jefferson's Ocean.
The finish, yeah, it was delightful.
I feel like you can always tell, too, when you look at someone's glasses. You don't even have to ask them if they're liking it, because usually when it's almost empty,
Yeah.
or if it's just sitting there full, you're like,
Yeah.
it's taking a little longer to get down. But, no,
This was
I
good.
approve.
I remember, when you drink with someone who's not a typical bourbon drinker, when you're like, you go somewhere, like I've gotten some decent bourbon with people, and I'm like, oh, let's get something good or whatever, and you might get a guy that's with the group that night or whatever that is not typically with the crowd or with your bourbon drinker crowd, and you go get your glass and it's like this, and the bartender hands it to them, and everyone takes a sip and they go,
They shoot it.
they shoot it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That would have been me.
and it's happened before, and I'm like, what are you doing?
It's not Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
Or a guy who orders an old fashioned and waits for the ice to melt completely before you can drink it.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
You still do it?
No.
Yeah. But this is solid stuff.
Solid stuff.
Cheers, fellas.
cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Thanks for grabbing this for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cheers.
All right.